In this ACT video, we're going to take a look at dividing polynomials. We're going to look at two situations that you may see on your ACT, and we're also going to review some of those exponent rules that we talked about in a previous video. So let's take a look at our first situation. Here we have the quantity 2x cubed plus 10x squared minus 8x, all divided by 2x. Here we have a polynomial divided by this monomial. That's a monomial, remember, because it's just one term. Whenever you're dividing by just one term like that, you're going to want to take your first polynomial, 2x cubed plus 10x squared minus 8x, and then divide each piece by that monomial. Divide it by 2x, divide by 2x, divide by 2x. These are the same problem, just written two different ways. Now we're going to go forth and divide our coefficients, and then with our variables, remember when you're dividing and the bases are the same, you have to subtract the exponents. All right, so looking at our first term, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so those cancel. X to the third divided by x, which is really x to the first, is just x to the second, because 3 minus 1 is 2. Bring down your plus sign. Move on to the next term. 10 divided by 2 is 5. X squared divided by x is just x, because 2 minus 1 is 1, which leaves us with x to the first, or just x. We're going to bring down that minus sign, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4, and x divided by x, those cancel out. So we're left with x squared plus 5x minus 4. So when we're dividing by a monomial, we just want to take each piece of the first polynomial and divide it by that monomial. Now, what if it's not a monomial? Well, if it's not a monomial, we're going to have to do a little bit more work. Here we have the quantity 3x cubed plus 29x squared plus 9x minus 6, all divided by the quantity 3x plus 2. Because we're dividing by a binomial, or if you're dividing by anything other than a monomial, we're going to use long division. So to set this up for long division, this would look like 3x plus 2 goes into 3x cubed plus 29x squared plus 9x minus 6. All right, so how do we start? We're going to take a look at the first term here and the first term here. And I want you to think about 3x times what would give me 3x cubed? That would have to be 1x squared. 1 times 3 is 3, x squared times x is x cubed. So you're going to multiply 1x squared, or just x squared, times 3x, giving me 3x cubed, and x squared times 2, which gives me plus 2x squared. Just like when you did long division with just plain numbers, maybe in elementary school, at this point you want to subtract. When we subtract these quantities like this, we're going to draw the line and change each sign. So that positive becomes a negative, that positive becomes a negative. So we're subtracting. 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels. 29x squared minus 2x squared gives me 27x squared. Then we want to go ahead and bring the remainder down. Plus 9x, bring down minus 6. We're going to repeat the process. We have to figure out 3x times what gives me 27x squared. Well, we know that that would be 9x. So let's put plus, because it's positive, 9x. Multiply the 9x times 3x. 9 times 3 is 27. X times x is x squared. Add your exponents. 9x times 2 gives me plus 18x. Now we have to subtract, so we want to draw the line, change both signs. Minus, and that happens to become minus also. 27x squared minus 27x squared cancels. 9x minus 18x becomes negative 9x. And then I want you to bring down the minus 6. And we repeat the process again. 3x times what gives me negative 9x? Well, 3x times negative 3 gives us negative 9x. Not negative x, 3x, but just negative 3. Let's erase that. All right, try that again. 3x times what gives me negative 9x, and that'd be 3x times negative 3. Negative 3 times 3x, negative 9x. Negative 3 times 2 gives me minus 6. We're subtracting, so that means we need to draw the line and change both signs. So this time, this becomes a plus, and this becomes a plus. Negative 9x plus 9x is 0, so those cancel. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0, so those cancel. So we do not have a remainder, and our final answer is x squared plus 9x minus 3.